Okay, so this is the long division strategy. Now, long division is pretty tough, and there's a certain place, which I will talk about later, where people or students get tripped up. They really get stuck, and it's okay, because I think once you get past that area, you can continue the strategy, you can have some good flow, and you can just go through the process slowly and organized, have your strategy, know what you need to do, and get the right answer. So before we can even jump into long division and the strategy, we need to know the terms. It's really important. So most people don't even know, but this thing is called a quotient. The quotient is the thing that sits on top of the box. So you will see lots of long division problems, and you see all these numbers, and they all have terms to describe them, and it's really important. So the quotient is super important. The quotient is the guy that sits on top of the box. He's on top of the roof. I don't know what he's doing, but he's on top of that house. He's on top of the roof. The divisor, I always feel, is like this very strong dominant character, and the divisor is always trying to get into this house or get into this object, see how many times he can get into this house. So the house is actually this object, this house thing here. This is the dividend, So dividend is here, quotient is here, and divisor is here. Now, remainder is important. We're not really going to look at the remainder right now, but definitely that's an easy word to remember. Just the remainder, the remaining number. Okay, so quotient is the guy that goes on top. Divisor is where we kind of start. The divisor is the all-powerful number. The divisor is the key. It's showing us what to do. So we have this divisor. It needs to go into the dividend. We need to find out how many times it's going into that dividend, and the quotient is the amount of times it is going in. Okay, so one thing that's important about this is anytime we put a quotient, anytime we put a number on top, anytime we put that quotient, we have to multiply it by the divisor, and we have to put the number under the dividend. So this is really important. Always multiply, I'll just put Q by D, Q by D, and then put under the dividend. Always multiply your quotient by your divisor. Whenever you put a quotient on top, you can't just let it be. You have to do something with it. You put it up there, okay, good. Now multiply it by the divisor, then put it under the dividend. So Q times D, and I like to call that the QD number. So the QD number, actually, if we go back, looking at our equation here, the QD number will be that 15. The QD number is the 15, because 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so what we're going to do now is walk through a long division problem. And the long division problem is 33 going into 868, or 868 divided by 33. And the way I like to think about this is basically we have a shape, we have a box or something, a container, and it can fit 868 marbles. It can fit 868 marbles. And you have these sacks of marbles. And maybe your sack has 33 marbles in it. So every sack you have can only have 33 marbles. And what you need to do, it's kind of like a carnival game. You have to kind of see, you have to figure out with your brain how many of your sacks can go into this big container, which can only fit 868 marbles. So if I have a sack, I can have as many sacks as I want. I could have 5 sacks, but they all contain 33 marbles, so I would have to do 5 times 33, and that's how many marbles I have in total, and then maybe that equals 868. And if it does, if it goes in perfectly, if 5 times 33 is 868, it goes in perfectly, it fits perfectly in my container. That's really great. There's no remainder, there's no remaining spaces. But if it doesn't. And maybe, let's say, maybe it doesn't fit in perfectly. Maybe I do 33 times 5, so my quotient is 5. And I have 5 sacks of these marbles. I put it in. It doesn't reach 868. Maybe it reaches like 865. I can't put in another bag, another sack of 33 marbles, because that's too much. It's going to overflow. So maybe it's 865, and I just have some remaining spots left. So I just have to say, okay, that's as many sacks as I can put in. I can put in 5, and so I would put my quotient. My quotient would be 5, and then I'd say, well, okay, but 865, so, and I'm just going to put that number down here. Let's say it's 865, 866, 867, 868. I still have 3 remaining spots, so that's when we just say remainder 3. Now, this is not the answer. I'm just showing you what the concept is. So basically, you're trying to fit all those marbles into this container. And what I like to do when I start off with long division, difficult long division, 2-digit divisor long division. This is the divisor. 2 digits. It's got 2 digits. What I like to do is start off with going through the multiples of the divisor. So we have 33. I want to go through the multiples. So I want to do 33 times 1, 33 times 2, 33 times 3. I want to find out all the different multiples of 33. So 33 plus 33 is going to be 66. Easy. 99. 99 plus 33, well, it's not going to be, if it was 100, it would be 133. We have to go 1 down. So it's going to be 132. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 3 is 6. Good. Okay, so that's 165. And usually you can get away when you do long division like this, that's not too advanced. You can get away with doing about like 5 or 6 multiples of that number. 5 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 6 plus 3 is 9. And we have 198. Okay, now we want to do 198 plus 33. I'm just going to write that here just so it's clear. So we're doing multiples of 33. This is the same thing as doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And that's easy. But when we have these 2-digit numbers, it gets harder. Okay, so 198 plus 33. Well, let's think about it. 100 plus 33 is 100. Or sorry, let's say 200 plus 33 is going to be 233. But we have to take away 2 because we're actually doing 198. So let's say that is going to be 231. Okay, so hopefully that's okay to see. We just move that 2 over there. Yeah. Okay. And we can also, so I just did that in my head, but you could also do the calculation and just say, okay, 198. You can do this and then just erase it. Okay, 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 1. Carry the 1. That's 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. That's going to be 3. And then carry the 1 again because it was 13. That's 231. So there we go. And what I like to do, you can do this quickly if you have time. I like to put the numbers at the side, kind of make a table, so I know the multiples of 33. And this really helps me. This really helps me just have everything clear just so I can understand the multiples of 33. Okay, so I want to put 33 into this container. I want to put my bag, my sack of 33 marbles. How many sacks can I put in? Okay, now you'll see on every YouTube video, any teacher will tell you, okay, you start with the first digit. Yeah, it can't go into 8. Your divisor cannot go into the first digit of the dividend, so you have to extend it. So you say 86. Okay, then look at your chart. This is what I love about the chart. I have a visual thing here. I can look at this. I look at 99. That's too high. That's too high. So I look at 66. Okay, so that's 2. I'm going to put my quotient. I'm going to say, okay, so first of all, we don't need to do it here because we know that it can't go into 8. So we kind of put a 0. We don't really even need to put anything there. I'll just put it there so that it's in the place. It's taking up that spot. We're moving on. We extended it. So 66, yes, can go in. So I'm going to put 2 here. Now remember, what was the rule? Everybody forgets this. Q times D. If you put a quotient, if you put any quotient at all, you can't just leave it there. You have to then take that quotient, 2 times 33, and put it down here. And this is going to make a new container for us. It's going to make a nice new container. This is our QD number, 2 times 33. That's going to be our QD number. Okay, so we put it down. I'm going to put it down in green. The QD number will always be in green. Okay, 66. Boom. There we go. I put it down there. What do I do? Well, all I can say is that you always, you're trying to find how many sacks can go into this big container. Next thing you have to do is you just have to subtract. So you have your 86, you minus 66, minus 66, minus your QD number. It's under the dividend. QD is under the dividend. We minus 6 minus 6 is 0. 8 minus 6 is 2. Okay, 33 does not go into 20. But we also have this 8. Whenever you have that number on the side there, it's gotta kind of just fall down like a snowflake, because we're trying to get a big number so we can keep fitting this divisor in. Okay, so that 8 is going to trickle down. Now we have our new container. This is what I love. So we had our QD number, which was 66, and then we have this new solution. We have the dividend number minus the QD number. We have a new container. I'm just going to write a new container there. Okay. When we have that new container, what do? We repeat the process. We're just keep going, always trying to fit this sack of marbles into the new container. Now, we already did our multiples on the side, so this is actually really easy. I'm going to go back. What am I going to do? I'll do blue here. So now I say, how many times does 33 go into 208? Because this is what we're doing. The divisor needs to go into that new dividend, that new container. New dividend. Okay. 33 into 208. I'm looking at my chart. It's so obvious. It's 198. Okay. So I have to use red there. I want to keep it consistent. So my quotient is going to be 6. Put the 6 over the 8. That's what we're going to choose. And what did I just do? I put a new quotient, a new thing on top of the roof of our container here. So I have to multiply it now. So every time you put the quotient up, you have to do quotient times divisor. Q times D, new QD number. What is 6 times 33? Well, I don't have to do any math here because it's right in my chart. It's 198. Okay. The green is for the new QD number, 198. So that is the new QD number. That is the quotient times the divisor. QD number, 198. What do? Well, we need to get a new container. So we do 8 minus 8, 0. And then this one, it was funny. I was doing this earlier with someone, and I said, don't worry about 0 minus 9. Just look at it. You have 20 and you have 19. So you already have this 8 minus 8, 0. That's fine. That's done. That's easy. And then you have 20 minus 19. Well, that's just 1. So right there, you're done. 20 minus 19, it's 1. Does 33 go into 10, this new container? No, it does not. Do you have any numbers to make the container bigger, to make a new container? No, you cannot make a new container or a new dividend. So 33 goes into 10 0 times. So we're done. We just have 10 remaining spaces for those marbles. So we put an R here. There we go. Remainder 10. So our sack of 33 marbles goes in to our container 26 times. Don't need that 0. I just like to put it there. 26 times with a remainder of 10 spaces. So if we had 10 marbles, we could just throw it in and the container would be nice and full. Unfortunately, we don't, so we have some extra space there. We have 26 sacks of 33 marbles. Boom, 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 boom. And we have 10 extra spaces at the end. So that is the answer. 26 remainder.